Hello and welcome to Hare and the Hawthorn. My name's Kate Ray and I'm your host. And after what seems like forever being stuck in our caves over the winter period, me and Neil are back. We're back with a new season and we've got some fresh new guests, and I think we're going to have some returning guests from last year who are going to update us on stories that they've had and new experiences that they've had. We have got some really exciting topics, and both of us have, I suppose, slightly different kind of interests that we want to pursue this time around this season. And I'm going to throw you over to Neil. Hello, Neil, and welcome back. Welcome out the cave. How are you doing?
Hello, Kate. I'm fine. Looking forward to getting this kick-started again.
Me too, me too. What kind of things are kind of floating your boat this year? What kind of things would you like to see on the channel?
Well, it's I'm starting to investigate, a few things that I've looked at before, but I want to do in a little bit more detail in terms of my writing, and it'd be really good if we could, bring that along to the channel in certain respects. One of the things that's been a recurring theme, I guess, of my investigation into the fairies folklore and modern day fairies is the role that altered states of consciousness have to do with our interacting with them. I've, after studying this for 6-7 years now, I'm pretty convinced that human consciousness, when it is altered, will potentially allow a fairy type or a fairy entity type encounter. And I want to dig a little bit deeper. I feel as though I've only just touched the surface of that. And there are other people writing about this, and it does seem sort of a cogent argument. And at the same time, that kind of brings me on to the other really important issue to do with fairies, is their materiality or their non-materiality. If they are operating in a standalone reality apart from ours, it's not a material reality. And if it's not a material reality, how can the entities within that cross over here, or how can we cross over there? That interaction between the two, the material world and the non-material world.
It's fascinating, that side of things.
Yeah, it is. And so those are the two things that I'm really certainly wanting to write about, and I think a few of our guests will be able to really flesh that idea out in many different ways from the different perspectives that they might come from. So definitely, yeah, looking forward to that.
I mean, I was chatting yesterday about that particular subject, and in relation to fairies and their interaction, and the fae and their interaction with the spirits of the dead, and do they, or that have they contact? Do they have a different contact? Do they know of their existence? Do they live in a similar realm? And that's definitely one thing that's floated my boat over, but perhaps over the last year. But it's kind of really narrowing it down for me now about how they interplay. And I mean, one of the big things, as you know, for me, is going into haunted properties. And for me, I have 80 to 90% of the time I'll come across fae, and I won't come across the spirits of the dead. So yeah, that whole kind of altered state definitely comes into play in that realm as well. Altered state in people's interactions with other entities, people who have UFO, alien, interterrestrial, extraterrestrial type experiences, abductions, etc., as well as seeing ghosts. They all seem to marry up quite well. So for me, definitely I would love to have guests on from all those fields and all those experiences, to see if there is a correlation between our state of mind and our state of being, and all these kind of different experiences. I want to see this year, it's just popped into me, I want to see a guest that comes on who's had a cryptozoology type experience with a cryptid. So if anybody's out there who has had a Yeti experience, or a black dog experience, or has seen something that's sort of crazy mishmash of an animal, or Mothman or Owlman or whatever, because there are theories that they lay within that layer of the Fae realm as well. So it'd be nice to start joining all those bits up. I think the other thing for me that's becoming increasingly tempting as a subject matter is the noise noise from the Fae realm, not just music. So I'm interested in fairy music. I have this repeated question of, is fairy music updated in a modern sense, or do they still play harps, flutes, etc.? But also people who have experiences with the Fae who hear things that aren't musical instruments. Have you had an encounter that you think is a supernatural encounter and come across a noise as part of the experience? So it's not just the seeing and the sensing, but that audio aspect of it is definitely intriguing me at the minute. So to start off with, that's a massive range. And again, we're putting a big shout out to our watchers and our viewers. Come and sit on the virtual sofa with us, spend some time. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of some of these intriguing cases. Is there anything else you want to get out of this next season, Neil?
Some deeper dives, I think, in because we only have a certain amount of time with each person, and once you've got the introductions out the way, you can start to get into a subject. But it always feels, when you're constrained by that time period, that you are not getting under the skin of the subject. You're just floating over the top of the total subject matter. So it would be good if we can perhaps try and cut down on the introductions. This is so and so. Let's get into the meat of the matter. Here's some big meaty questions that a lot of people are starting to ask. That's the other encouraging thing. The last few years, seen a great growth of really good, rigorous research and study into the fairy phenomenon from lots of different directions. It's very noticeable, the last decade or so. So I think more people are interested in it, and more people are taking it seriously in the same way that they've previously taken, say, cryptids or UFOs or ghosts as at least a serious subject matter to study. And I think the fairies are starting to move there, and I'm very pleased with that. And I think, hopefully things like this podcast will increase that understanding of people who maybe have been on the fringe of any kind of study or research into this particular phenomenon.
Let's hope so. And I know that we've spoken, and we're going to try and keep our segments down to around about 30 minutes in this new series. But I think what we'll do with that to really get some depth out of it is to invite guests back and to explore different areas that may be sort of hanging in the air that we haven't really got to the meat of. And again, we ask you as viewers to come to us, ask us questions, make suggestions, etc. Although I'm not particularly great at getting on there and sort of answering questions on a regular basis because I'm a technical potato, I do read them, and I do try and incorporate where I can, what I can. As you know, these things that I do are quite rough and ready and are unedited, and that's how it's going to remain. It will continue to have blips and things going off that shouldn't go off, etc. But I like to think it adds to the charm of it. That's what I'm going to go with. It adds to the charm.
Absolutely, it's authenticity, Kate, is the word.
yeah. That's not the word that just came to my head, but I'm not going to use that word. I'll probably tell you about that after. So welcome back, everybody, and thank you for everybody who subscribed, and please keep watching. Again, make your suggestions, and as long as it's not something like I have had in the past, and I have to address this, that I have been told I talk too much. So maybe I should remain a bit quieter this season. Let me know what you think. So our very first one that we're going to get into is just me and Neil. You'll see that coming up just underneath this pinned post. I'm hoping I can pin it appropriately. And that's going to kind of mark a flavour of the next probably several months of updates, etc. There's a small clue just there, if anybody wants to take a guess at what that is. So please watch that and let us know what you think, and thanks for watching. Thank you very much.